Grab your cup. Here are 5 patterns, behavior patterns, that will tell you that you're stuck in anxiety and stress that you may not realize, just because it seems so normal to you, or you've always done this, or you see other people doing it. I want you to think about this. Just because something is common does not mean that it's normal for the way we are designed, for the way our body is put together. The nervous system does not find it normal to be stressed all the time and to be anxious. The nervous system needs to be in a place of rest and peace. And then the nervous system, which governs everything else, will tell your body, it'll tell your immune system, go ahead and fight the things you need to fight. Bacteria, viruses, cancer cells, toxins, go ahead and do that. Only when you're in rest and peace, not when you're in stress. Your digestive system will only properly digest food and absorb nutrients when you are not in stress. So your physical body needs to have a state of rest and digest and peace and safety in order to function well and to have great health. But also look at your relationships, your most personal relationships and those at work and friends out in the world. These behavior patterns that I'm going to share with you, how are they impacting those relationships, okay? When most people think of anxiety and stress, they might think of, I stay awake at night, I wake up in the middle of the night, my brain is going crazy, I don't sleep well, or my body just always feels nervous and anxious. But these are actual patterns of behaviors that you may not have realized. The first one is, if you hyperly plan and focus on every possible scenario that could go wrong around an event, it might be when you're going on vacation, or it might be just something happening next week, and you make out a list and then you have to plan out every scenario. It might sound like, well, isn't that a good idea? But it keeps you very stressed. It keeps you on the hyper-focus aspect of problems and things that are going to go wrong, which keeps you stressed. You want to learn how to make your list, prepare, and then put it aside and trust that you are going to be able to handle whatever comes up, right? So if you don't have that, that comes from a place where you learned you had to always be prepared for every bad thing. You probably learned that a long time ago, and that's how you're continuing to move through your life. The next one is needing to control every outcome. If things don't go the way you expected, it's very upsetting. Needing to control how other people experience things, like your kids or your partner. Wanting to control how they respond and the choices that they make. So if people around you choose something that you disagree with or you wouldn't have wanted them to choose, it's very upsetting, rather than letting people be. So needing to control outcomes, experiences, choices of other people. And when that doesn't happen, you're very uncomfortable with a lack of control and not knowing the outcome, okay? Kind of like right up next to that is needing to control your emotions. So many women feel like certain emotions are not good. Anger, sadness, we're uncomfortable when other people have them. We're not good at expressing them ourselves, expressing them in a healthy way. But emotions are one of the gifts of being a human being. Emotions are energy in motion. They need to move. They need to be expressed so they can move out. When we don't do that, they stay stuck. And that keeps the nervous system. If you stay stuck with anger, it's like this. Imagine you have a giant beach ball filled with air, and you want to hold that beach ball under the water. That takes a lot of energy. It takes both hands. You can't be doing anything else. You can't be having fun. You can't be interacting. You can't be swimming. You're just in the water holding that beach ball down. That's what it's like for your body to hold those emotions that you don't want to express. And that keeps you very stressed. The next one is kind of the opposite of controlling, and that is when you don't trust yourself and the decisions that you make. So if you think about it, you probably have a lot of evidence as to what you're really good at, what you've already overcome in your life, a lot of evidence that you make good decisions and that things work out. Or if they don't, you know how to handle it. There's probably plenty of evidence there. But instead, you're always questioning yourself and you're looking for other people's opinions and judgments to tell you that the decisions and the choices you're making are okay. So if you're always asking everybody, well, what do you think I should do? What do you think about this? I'm not sure. Somebody tell me what to do. Somebody give me the answer. That is someone who is stuck in stress and anxiety. And again, all of these have an origin. That's the other thing I want you to realize. It's not that you were just born this way. You weren't. You were born trusting yourself. You were born recognizing peace and safety. You learned these different patterns because you needed to for different experiences in your life. So you learned that you couldn't trust yourself and you needed to always look somewhere else, okay? And then the last one is not being able to relax. So there's the doing of life. Every day we have things we need to do, but then there's also the being of life. And the being is just being and able to relax and trust that everything you did is going to be fine. Most women, when they're stuck in stress, are always doing. And by the way, when you're always doing, one of the reasons that gets created is because it helps you hide those emotions that you don't want to deal with. So when we stop doing and we're left with ourselves, that can be very uncomfortable. And the emotions that are there can be the very things that we've been holding under the water. So that could be a reason why, or it could just be that you've learned that you have to do things all the time, do things so that you feel like you're good enough. You feel very guilty if you actually just sit and be, and you're not doing 3 other things at the same time. So did I go through all of them? Being overly prepared and focused on all possible problems, controlling situations, controlling and suppressing your emotions, needing to feel like other people approve of you, or their opinions and their judgments are good with what you decide. So always asking and finding that out first, and then being able to rest and not be doing for some portion every day, the ability to rest and just be. So those are the 5 that if you're in any of those behavior patterns, again, just ask yourself, how does that affect my relationships? How does that affect my experience of myself and how I want to be in my life? How is it affecting my physical health and my immune system? Do I have a lot of chronic symptoms that I cannot overcome? And no matter what I do, they're still here. And I just need medications to deal with my symptoms. If that's the case, put talk in the comments, because you have to learn a couple of things. You have to learn how to teach your nervous system to get out of that stress mode and get back into rest. And at the same time, you have to learn how to change how you think, because it's your thoughts and those feelings that you're stuck in that are keeping your nervous system there. So you can learn techniques to shift your nervous system out, but you also have to learn how to retrain and rewire the way you see yourself in your life. So put talk in the comments. It's a free conversation. Let's talk about what that looks like for you and all of the different ways that we work with people to help you stop doing those behaviors so that you can create the life that you want to live, rather than be in this automatic, like I said, common but not normal pattern that's keeping you stuck and stressed. Okay? Go ahead and put talk, and we'll look forward to connecting with you. Have a good day.